Welcome to Leadership Legacy Radio, where we inspire you to live your dreams, encourage you to take massive action, and be your authentic and genuine self. We focus on 3 pillars. That's empowering youth, equipping leaders, and enriching marriages so that you can go out and dominate your space.
If you're ready to dominate, you're listening to the right show. This is the Leadership Legacy Radio. Now let's go.
Hey, what time is it? It's my favorite time of the day, your favorite time of the day. Let's get to it. Let's talk about how to elevate your business in 10, your leadership in 10. Now, today, what's interesting is there's something that I've been doing a lot, and I didn't realize how important it was. And it's practicing to daily reflect, right? Like, how do you reflect? How do you understand that it was a good day or a bad day, and what could you learn from it, right? And so I had created this thing out of not really intention, but out of kind of like a state of burnout. I was stuck. I was feeling kind of drained, and really just exhausted. And so I created this thing called the 5-minute purposeful reset, right? And really, in its simplest form is you choosing to grow by looking back at your day, right? So the 3 questions that I would ask myself is, what went well? What did I do well? How did I respond to a situation well? Like, what went well? Then the second thing I ask myself is, what felt off or heavy? And oftentimes these can be conversations, these can be situations, these can be things that happen and you're like, that felt pretty heavy. It didn't feel like great. It just felt, heavy. And then the last one is, what can I learn or what can I let go of? And when I asked myself these questions, it started to kind of help me identify patterns in my week, patterns in my days that were draining and that weren't fulfilling me or the needs that I had. It wasn't helping me walk in my purpose. It wasn't helping me get to where I wanted to get to. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to break down a few things that I've learned, because it's super important that, when we learn things and we go through things, it's not just for us. It's for the people that we're meant to serve, the people that we're meant to connect with, the people we're meant to help and inspire. And so as I was sitting down that day, I was sitting down at the edge of the bed and I was reading this book. And the reason I read the book is because one of my mentors had shared that you don't just grow just because the time passes by. He was like, if we were to grow when the time passes by, it'd be like how we age. And people don't really, to be honest, the conversation we're having is like, some of us don't age well, right? And what that means is that we believe that we can continue to do the things from the past, or we do continue doing the things from the past. And so in that conversation, he was like, what are you doing to intentionally know that you're growing? Are you learning from your days? Are you learning from your studies? Are you constantly investing in yourself? How are you intentionally finding out ways that you can get better and improve? And he said, I recommend that you reflect, and in the moment, I really didn't understand what that meant. He was just basically kind of saying, listen, you need to reflect and understand the things that are important to you, the things that aren't important to you, the things that add value to you, the things that encourage you, that give you strength, that filled you up, that just really got you on fire. Once you identify those things, you can kind of do more of that, right? Because nobody likes to walk around feeling tired, exhausted, or defeated, or run down. And it's because of the things that we choose or the things that we do to allow us to get there, right? And so in that moment, I realized that he was right. Growth doesn't just happen. You have to choose it, right? Every day, we can allow life to happen to us, or we can live our life. And I'll tell you, most people allow life to happen, right? We need to make an intentional effort to get better every single day. Like, how am I improving based on the things that I've seen? So one of the things that you can do is reflect daily and create a personal rhythm for yourself. Okay, I noticed that when I did this, I felt really exhausted. And then you pause, you think about that. Okay, do I have to do that? Do I have to continue to do that? And I was thinking about this because I was sharing with my wife. I said, listen, probably here in the near future in the business, we're going to institute nap time. Every day you get a nap, right? Now, really what I was identifying in that moment was that every time I go through these type of events in my day, it's so exhausting that I feel like I just want to lay down. I just want to shut it down, and I just want to kind of like relax and just reset my mind. So if you constantly see yourself going into these moments, ask yourself, how can I change the rhythm of that? Because you can get better and grow through that, right? So you don't just grow because time passes, you grow when you reflect. Just remember that. The second thing that I was thinking about is reflection reframes my reality, your reality. So if you reflect, you're able to really understand. And that's what I really learned from the book, How Life Works. You know, in the book, Michael Jr. talks about when you look back at things, you know, really everything is like a punchline. There was one story that he shared that he was, you know, out fishing with his kids, and he went to pull the boat out from the dock. And when he went to pull the boat out from the dock, something happened. He had to get out of the car. He like ran over, and the person was like scared because he wasn't from that area, and what he was trying to do is get some help. And he was like wondering why they were scared, you know. So he like fast forward, you know, he was like, you know, it's funny because, you know, people are afraid of what doesn't look like them. And then he went on to say that it happened another time. So he was out running in his neighborhood, and he had turned a corner, and this lady was running, and as he turned the corner and she was running, she started running faster. And then, you know, like he was like, oh, okay. So then he, you know, he kept running, and he noticed that like every couple of seconds she'd look back. And in that moment, he realized that it was because of what he looked like that certain people were, you know, treating him a certain way. And it was about perspective, right? So he said, I looked at those situations and realized that those people don't determine my value. I do, right? So although I need to be mindful of the situation, it's understanding of who you are and whose you are, right? So the goal isn't to be perfect, but the goal is to reflect and understand and challenge a perspective. Did I have the right perspective in that situation? Did I look at that situation through the right frame of mind? Did I use the right understanding for that, right? Reflecting helps you identify what went well, what you need to shift, and how you can show up better tomorrow. Because today is what you do, but you've influenced tomorrow by how you reflect today. So choose to reflect daily. And this is a practice that I promise you will help you amplify the way that you show up in every aspect of your life. The last thing that I want to share with you today is the power of the pause, right? So reflecting is powerful because you can pause and look back at your day, but you can also do this throughout your day. I did a training yesterday, and I was doing a training, and one of the things that the lady had talked about is how sometimes she can be frustrated because there's things that need to be done, and she can't solve every problem. And I said, what's important is how you show up. Teach people and empower them by giving them the opportunity to take on challenges, solve them, and then come to you and say, here, this is what I did. What are your thoughts, right? And then you can kind of do that to get kind of really, really help people get better. But really, it was a matter of just breaking down the importance of understanding the best way that you can show up. So what I was saying is, okay, first thing in the morning, do like a pause and think about the things that you're grateful for before you start the day. So you can pause at the beginning of the day and say, I am truly grateful for, and then you list out a few things. I actually have it in my phone. I have a gratitude list. God, I'm grateful for this. Thank you, God, for this. Thank you, for these things. And I go through this gratitude thing, and it helps me kind of like get really like in a right frame of mind. Midday, you can pause and ask yourself, okay, what has gone right? What has gone wrong? How can I get better? And is there any shifts that I need to make? That's the middle of the day. And at the end of the day, then you do your reflection questions. And those questions are, again, what went well today? What felt heavy? And then what can I learn or let go of? And as you do this and you intentionally reflect and pause throughout the day, you will see yourself showing up better, being better, and doing better because you're able to shift faster than situations occur. So when things happen, you're not reacting as I was sharing before, but you're responding. And you're really inspired to do what's best for not only yourself, but for the situation. And remember, like, listen, another thing that I learned from the book is you're going to have to learn to laugh at yourself because everything that we go through is a punchline, right? It's either funny to you, or it will be funny to you in the future. So whether you laugh at yourself now or later, make sure you laugh, because it's important that you don't take yourself too seriously. That's something that I truly value now. I don't take myself too seriously. I want to have fun. I want to be fun, but I can't do that if I'm always showing up the same way, right? Serious, focus, and only doing one thing, right? So get out, do the things that you love, have some fun today, laugh at yourself, but more importantly, go out and dominate your space.